All right, welcome to another Jags podcast. We have no idea which episode this is. We gave up counting a long time ago, but we're going to be talking Minshew and Foles.
And all I'm saying is I'm wearing the same shirt again.
Man.
Because I am all in on Jags, man.
Absolutely. Hey, he's talking about our YouTube channel, so make sure you go on YouTube and search Another Jags Pod. You can watch us talk and debate. This one's going to be quite a debate, I think. And
hey, I didn't pay nothing for this shirt not to wear it more than once.
This polo, I've got my money's worth. I've worn it probably every other day for the last 2 years. But follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Another Jags Podcast. I mean, we're the only thing that comes up. We break down film and all that stuff. Without further ado, let's jump right in. And look.
Hey, you just missed it. Without further ado, let's talk about Minshew.
Gardner Minshew. Yeah, that's good. Look, we some podcasts plan debates, some radio show hosts play devil's advocate to stir up, clicks. We don't do that. Absolutely not.
We literally just had a conversation and we're complete opposites without talking about it whatsoever beforehand, which is perfect. I mean, perfect.
We found out exchanging bathroom usages that we're on the opposite sides of the fence here, which is great, is great because it's always good when we do that.
And Jason's usually on the fence, so I'm excited.
So for this time, I'm actually not. But we asked a Twitter question. We said, all right, Jags fans, let's get straight to the point. Who do you think should start Week 11? Not who will start Week 11. Who do you think should start Week 11? And Minshew only got 30% of the votes, and Foles got 70% of the votes. So, Joey, I ask you, who do you think should start Week 11?
If you'd asked me before this past game, I would have said Minshew. You got to go with the hot hand, the momentum, like the team chemistry. After the last game, I'm 1,000% Foles.
Mic drop, just like that. 1,000% Foles.
Do you want me to expand on that, or do you?
I want you to expand on that. Of course, it's a podcast.
How about you say yours and then we'll expand?
Mine's a long. Mine's a
fair
whole.
Enough. So here's the reasoning
thesis.
why. The reason why is, first of all, I don't think you should start him because we're paying him that money. I think we should start him because we paid him that money because he's that good. Experience is what it's all about. In that last game, our offense was anemic. It was not good, and there were multiple plays. If you look, where Minshew missed wide open receivers. Not that he threw it to him and missed them, but he just didn't see them. There were lots of plays that could have changed the structure of the game to where he looked the other way or he's dancing around the pocket like he does, which has been great. Don't get me wrong, dude. I think Minshew is the future of our football team. I think he is our franchise quarterback. But I think he's a 6th-round draft pick and he's a rookie. He needs some time to mature. And I think Foles is the perfect guy to teach him and bring him along that path. I think we're better with Foles going forward.
Do you think that Foles do you think we make the playoffs this year with Foles?
I think we have a good shot at the wild card with Foles, yes. Making the playoffs, I'm not going to step out on that, dude. That's we got to go 5-2. And some stuff has to happen, but I think going forward, yes, Foles is the best guy for that. Just because of his experience. That's it.
If we go 8-8 and don't make the playoffs, who should start the beginning of next season, in your opinion? Foles or Minshew?
That's a good question. 8-8 is what I called at the beginning of the season with Foles playing.
It's looking like you're going to be
whole
right.
Season.
But if Foles comes in and plays good, but loses and wins, alternates.
I think Foles still starts next season, and maybe Minshew comes in at the end.
So why? So you're throwing away 2 years? So you're throwing away another year?
Dude, what about Aaron Rodgers sitting behind Brett Favre?
That's
not different. It's the exact same situation. Dude.
But there's nothing that tells us. Favre was a Hall of Fame quarterback. Nick Foles is not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Dude, Foles is a Super Bowl winning MVP quarterback.
Yeah, but he's not a Hall of Famer. By no means
okay.
is he. He got there with great offensive line, great defenses, and a great core around him.
Okay, we should still have a good offense, good defense next year. We're going to draft offensive line, hopefully, and tight end. So it'll be the same situation. Let Foles play another year. Let Minshew learn another year underneath him. Trade Foles, whatever happens to him, and then Minshew's our guy going forward, man.
All right, let me throw some more questions at you because I'm just setting up my argument here.
Okay.
1 to 32 teams, quarterbacks in the NFL. Ballpark, where's Foles? 1 to 32.
What? Foles has played 11.
Just as a quarterback, not just what you think, like as he is, like not what he's shown, not what he could be. To you, what is Foles 1 to 32?
15.
Ballpark, 15. Okay. Let me throw some stats at you here. This season, Gardner Minshew, as a rookie, coming into the season with no preseason as the starter, with no training camp as the starter, with a depleted tight end core, with a depleted receiving core, and with an offensive line that I think is okay. He is 11th in total completions in the league. He then goes on to be 7th in quarterback passing attempts in the league. 9th in passing yards. And 12th in passing touchdowns.
Okay, what's this?
All those numbers.
Whoa, stop right there. First of all, most of those numbers don't matter.
Passing touchdowns don't matter?
Yeah, they do.
Passing yards don't matter? What do you want out of a quarterback?
Passing yards are could be garbage.
Yards and touchdowns.
Hey, Bortles threw for 400 games many times.
But Bortles was never top 10 in passing yards.
Where did his completion percentage drop to? He was like number 1 in the league. Where's it at now?
Completion percentage is around 20th. Around 20th.
Huge drop.
Okay.
He's coming back to reality, man.
But for a 6th round rookie.
I agree.
With no talent around him.
Amazing.
How do you not start him?
Because you have a guy with more experience that's as good a quarterback.
You said it yourself. If Minshew is the future, if Minshew's the guy, look, if your plan was to put Minshew in at the end of next year, that means the season's over. Why not just play Minshew the whole time? He's shown he can win you games. He's shown that he can play well, and he does things that Foles can't do. May I make a point right here, please? If you're not following our YouTube, make sure you do, because I'm about to make a great point here. If you look to our screen here, we have Gardner Minshew lined up on 3rd and 9. In the third quarter, the score's 3-12. There's 4 minutes left. It's not like it's a blowout at this point. 12-3. We're literally only down 9 points. And
I feel like I was set up here.
You were set up so hard. Gardner Minshew, okay, if you're not watching the YouTube channel, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, they're in 10-gun formation, 3-by-1. They got 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. It's 3rd and 9. The Texans are playing like a cover 4 shell like they did all game. Watch what Minshew does. Takes a nice 5-step drop, steps up into the pocket, and he doesn't just scramble for the first down. He fights off a linebacker and dives for a first down. Now, please tell me when you ever saw Nick Foles stiff arm a linebacker and get 2 extra yards on 3rd down to get a first down.
What I'd love to see is where our 3 wide receivers were overloading this side, the camera angle that actually does not
all
follow
22.
Minshew.
Well, it appears that 2 of the 3 did out routes to the opposite side of the field that Minshew was scrambling.
Because it was a design scramble. It was not a broken play.
I don't think it's a design scramble. Fournette's not standing. Fournette's not standing here looking like he's got his thumb up. You know where? If this is a design scramble.
Look at this. He's also not asking for the ball, dude. He's waiting for the block.
And honestly, that block, that was a good block.
Fournette. But on this side, this dude, I don't know who this is, blocks straight away, dude. He ain't running her out. He's blocking.
I don't know.
That was a design scramble.
I don't think it was. I think
it was.
Look at this. Oliver's running a route, man.
Point being, you're not going to design a scramble for Foles.
For Foles. You're not going to. You're not.
I agree.
Can I make point number 2?
Is he a running back?
Point number 2. Gardner Minshew's in here. For those just listening, it's second quarter. It's 5 minutes left in the quarter, and it's 9-0. By no means a blowout. 2nd and 6. Gardner Minshew's in 11-gun formation. Josh Oliver's lined up tight at the wide tight formation.
Once again, heavily loaded to the left.
Heavily loaded to the left with the tight end right here. So, look, I hate these formations. I really do, because look how the defense is playing half the field here.
Of course
they're playing half the field.
Why
You're playing football on half of the field. Does that make any sense?
No, it doesn't.
It does not. Okay. There's a reason why colleges go sideline to sideline. That's all I'm going to say. Lined up here, Gardner Minshew's going to drop back. He's got trips left like he does on the last play. They're designed to DJ Chark to the outside.
And he dropped it in the grass. It was a 7-yard throw, and he drops it 2 yards short.
Okay, that was a bad play.
Jason, that was a fantastic example of exactly
this next play, though.
I thought I was getting set up, but Jason just hooked me up because that was the wrong video, obviously, for Jason's point.
But this one, though.
But, dude, that was a horrible throw, man. No way Foles throws it like that.
I think it was tipped.
It was not tipped.
I think it was tipped. Okay, this play, though, Minshew scrambles, bounces off of Cam Robinson, and finds Raquel.
He didn't need to scramble. He would have been able to hit him if he stood in the pocket.
The pocket collapsed.
It did not.
The pocket collapsed.
Dude, it did not.
Look at
There's
these guys.
one guy.
Look, he hit Rock Armstead. 3rd and 6. Those are the plays that Minshew makes. Foles doesn't make those plays.
Dude, I love Minshew.
He
man.
really doesn't. He really doesn't
have to because he's going to hit. They don't design plays around that. And he's going to hit the receivers that are open.
Look,
there's
a reason why it's called Minshew magic. And
I
look,
agree.
Foles has a bit of that magic, but it only comes in the playoffs and at the end of the season.
Or when you come in relief and finish the season off, which is his specialty.
Not with this scrub squad. He's not. Not with this scrub squad.
Okay, look at again. Not gonna. We haven't done the homework on that, but look at the teams Foles beat in the playoffs. Their record, their defenses against what Minshew's won against. I love Minshew, man. I think he's a great thing for Jacksonville. And again, I'll say again, I think he is our future. I just don't think he's ready, dude. He has not beat a good team. He's come close to beating a couple good teams, but he's not beat a good team. He's beat crap teams.
But we both have been watching football for long enough to see a special player when we
He's
know
special.
it.
I'm not saying he's
Listen,
not.
When we saw Deshaun Watson, both of us, when we both saw Lamar Jackson, we said those were special players.
I said draft him.
There's something special about Minshew.
I agree.
There's something special about him, and he rallies not only a team, but a fan base.
I agree.
That's a guy you start his whole career. That's a guy you start his whole career. Look, I don't care you paid Nick Foles that money. I don't care. It's not my money. We're not in salary cap problems.
It's not about the money. I think Minshew's gotten some experience. He's gotten some good experience in live action starting games. I just don't think he's ready, man. I think he needs more of a backup quarterback role for at least the rest of the season. Whatever. Talk about who starts next year, different argument. I think he will benefit more from the secondary role for the rest of the season and learning from Foles to be our guy. I think if you throw him out there for the rest of the year and they tank, dude, it's like golf, man. You get mental, done.
So your issues are with like the mental, the yips, the Blaine Gabbert, the Mariota.
Absolutely.
Okay. That argument. I don't know if I'm with that, but I get it. But I just think he gets more value out of playing. Because look what he's done so far.
It's risky, man. I think there's less risk in benching him. Dude, Foles, man, the only play we actually saw him on, he threw a dime touchdown pass when he broke his clavicle, man. I mean, it was like perfect. Why not?
I
dude,
know.
Give the guy a shot.
I know. All right, let's get to what Twitter says. This is from the fans. Thank you guys so much for hitting us up on Twitter. We're at another Jags pod. Look, everything y'all send, we try to read. And look, I feel bad because on Twitter, sometimes we get hit up direct messages, and quite frankly, I just forget to check DMs when we're doing a live show.
And I'm not on Twitter at all.
And Joey has no idea what a DM is.
It's all Jason's fault.
So I'm going to start with our direct message here. This is from David Elizondo, and he's at Elizondo David. He says, the Minshew versus Foles debate is hard because it also goes on to next year. Marrone and this staff may not get another year. A new coaching staff would maybe not want Minshew. Maybe Minshew is Rookie of the Year. It's hard to bench someone like that. It's good because we have two capable quarterbacks.
My head hurts.
He said a lot there, but I did like what he said. It's hard because Minshew might win Rookie of the Year. How do you bench a guy who's in the running for Rookie of the Year? That's my question.
Who cares about Rookie of the Year, man? It's about winning games and making the playoffs.
But they're not going to make the playoffs this year.
They could.
They won't.
Okay.
They're too depleted at too many prime positions. Linebacker, tight end, wide receiver.
Our schedule's not fantastic going forward. 5-2, man. That's all you got to do.
It is good that we have two capable quarterbacks, though.
I mean, talk about a problem to have. I mean, we've never had this problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And going into next season, great. I'd love to have that problem. Talk about a freaking preseason.
Yeah.
Get in there and see who's got it, who doesn't. Like, what do you want to do, man? I mean, might get something for Foles. Might get a lot for Foles. On top of a couple draft picks, I mean, I still think you keep Foles another year. But that's a debate for next year.
But for this year, it's Foles for you?
It is. Absolutely.
Well, Patrick Jackson.
PJ.
And PJ was closer to this scenario than we were, being in Europe.
Did he go to the game is the question.
I can't remember. I don't think he did.
I wouldn't.
But he was on a podcast last week talking about the Jags, and they were good.
Was it a soccer podcast where like they talked
No,
about
they were
football for a minute?
they were football guys. They were British. They had a
Nice.
British accent, and honestly, I found myself laughing the entire time.
Everything sounds cooler when you got an accent like that, though. They have
true.
like words like they probably said like boot and
No,
not
it was
trunk
it
and-
was good, and I have to look up the name of the podcast.
Yeah, let's give them some props, man.
I will
take a minute.
I will. After the break, I will come back and I'll give them mad props. I can't find it right now on my phone, but I will. But Patrick Jackson says impossible to choose without seeing them both in training, without knowing how they're linking up with receivers, without knowing how well Foles' injury has recovered. I'm not sure how much Foles would have helped on Sunday.
Oh, wait a minute. Like us not being like at the practice field means we shouldn't be making the calls?
I understand.
I'm being
that
sarcastic.
Yeah,
there, obviously.
Look, I get it. There's a lot you learn in practice that these guys know that they don't. But then there's also players that don't play well in practice and end up like gamers.
But dude, it's a clavicle, man. I mean, that. How's your motion?
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, you're right. We don't know how he's throwing, but my clavicle's kind of hurting right now. Now that you're talking about it, but look, we don't know how well he's recovered. We don't know.
Jason's NFL career is done.
I'm done, dude. I'm done. I had my run, and it's over. But look, we don't know how he's linking up receivers. We saw in the training camp preseason he did well with the receivers.
And
that
we're
we
talking
have.
about what left-handed versus right-handed too, right? Isn't Minshew left-handed?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
No, we have to edit that out.
Yeah. No, we won't. We're gonna leave it in because
Yeah,
so that people
leave
know
that
that
in
it
there.
stands with your side on this
I
debate.
mean, it's just so cool. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
We got to be like wacky left-hander.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna get some more of your Twitter questions after the break. But before we go to the break, I want to throw a trivia question at Joey and the listeners.
I'm gonna nail
and
this.
I'm gonna give you the break to listen to it, or I'm sorry, to think about it.
I like that.
And here's the question. Can you remember the last time the Jags started the season 4-5? I'll let you chew on that question while you listen to these great sponsors talk about their product. So make sure you support them. Make sure you follow us on social media. Give us a 5-star rating on everything. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do everything that you know you ought to do by this point. And we'll be right back.
Right back.
All right, welcome back to another Jags podcast. This is our midweek episode of the Minshew versus Foles debate. And if you haven't yet watched the first half, which would be absurd at this point, it's been good. It's been good. Joey and me have had some good debate here. I threw a teaser question at Joey before the break and to all of you guys.
You call it a teaser question. I'm calling it a trap once again.
Everything I do on this show is a trap. You know that.
Read the question.
The question is, when's the last time the Jaguars started 4-5 like this season?
Which you would think by Jason saying that is like, hey, they started 4-5 and then made a run.
Right, you would think
made the playoffs because that's what everybody wants.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently that's not the case because he did give me a hint
that
it's not that.
Yeah.
So like my first two guesses are completely done with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to go with either a Byron Leftwich or a Blaine Gabbert Ram team.
Incorrect.
Man.
Incorrect. We'll count you down to when it happened. 2010, Jack Del Rio started 5-4, finished the season 8-8.
Which is what we're gonna do this year.
They were starting the season 5-4. 2009, just 1 year prior, Jack Del Rio starts the season 5-4, finishes the season 7-9. That brings us to 2008. Jack Del Rio, coach team,
Jack of the River,
starts the season 4-5 and finished the season 5-11.
It had to be Leftwich.
The starting quarterback in that season was David Garrard, who started all 16 games.
So it was after the Pro Bowl season.
He started all 16 games. Backup quarterback, Cleo Lemon.
Wow.
Cleo Lemon, backup quarterback. Because you're thinking, if your team's 5-11, you think you'd throw in the backup at some point, but not Cleo Lemon. That same year, the leading running back, Maurice Jones-Drew, who played in all 16 games along with David Garrard. So David Garrard and Maurice Jones-Drew both played in all 16 games. Maurice Jones-Drew had 824 yards rushing, but he split the carries with Fred Taylor.
That was Taylor's last year.
Who had 556 yards rushing. And on top of Maurice Jones-Drew's 824 yards rushing, he also had 556 yards receiving.
Are you like trying to depress everybody, Jason? I mean, like, really?
This is what will depress you. On the season that we started 4-5 and we ended 5-11, can you name the leading receiver on that team?
Do we still have McCardell?
No, we do not. I'll give you a hint.
Matt Jones.
It is Matt Jones.
Bam!
Didn't even have to give you the hint. Matt Jones.
You gotta give me a high five for that one.
Yeah, 761 receiving yards. Matt Jones leads the Jaguars in receiving yards. The last time that we started the season 4-5.
And then he led Arkansas on Coke purchases.
Or at least drinking
at
least drinking at golf courses.
Fun fact.
One of those things. All right, let's get back to your Twitter thoughts here. Finally. Mike Wilbraham says he's genuinely never been so 50-50 about a decision about Foles or Minshew.
I mean, it really is. I mean, like, leading up to this game, you could ask me on Monday, I'd say one thing, Tuesday, the next thing. I really think this showed that Minshew is a rookie quarterback that has a lot of potential and is really smart, but he is a rookie quarterback. He got exposed, man. Not a bad thing. Dude, the guy's been amazing. The fact we're 4-5 right now is amazing.
Let me ask you another question. Minshew has 7 fumbles in his 9 games. If that number was down at 2, are we even having this conversation?
I mean, most of those were 3 or 4 games ago, though. He didn't have any against Houston.
Yeah, he had interceptions and
because he's trying to make plays and stuff like that. I mean, the fumbles don't worry me at all.
Yeah, me neither, because he's trying to make plays.
Yeah.
Usually, most of them were at the end of the game.
They were.
Only a couple of them were beginning. But
again, my whole thing is, I know you're all about tape. Go back and look. There were multiple plays where he did his dancing in the pocket, chose an option, and there was somebody wide open that would have made a difference.
He did miss some open receivers in the game against the Texans,
which is the first time he's done that. Pretty much.
I mean,
he's been
the end zone film is going to show that. But let's bring up a play here. This is Deshaun Watson. So this is what Deshaun Watson can do, and we talk about what Minshew does that separates him. You would say Deshaun Watson is one of the best in the league, would you not?
I would.
Okay, let's see what Deshaun Watson does that makes him one of the best in the league. He's going to basically duck his head and start scrambling right away on this play.
He does.
Like, no doubt about it. That's what he's doing.
Where you've got to pause, though, the opposite is Minshew stops in this pocket. See, way fast forward.
Well,
so Deshaun Watson takes off and doesn't stop. Minshew takes off, stops, dances, and then goes. I mean, it's different. It's just experience, man.
He does. I mean, Watson does have more experience, and apparently this part of the play doesn't exist in the NFL archives of film.
Watson's
because
better than Foles and Minshew.
Okay, that's fair. I guess.
It's not a comparison, dude.
All right, Douglas Presley, and he's at teal tinted glasses. He says, either can be very good, but it's consistency that kept me from being excited about Foles. He's thrown for less than 200 yards in 35% of his games, 18 of 51, whereas Minshew has only thrown for less than 200 yards in 11% of his games, 1 of 9. Hard to bench a potential rookie of the year.
It's not, honestly. And
it really is.
It isn't. I love that argument because
Douglas Presley works on statistics. Is there any doubt that Douglas Presley works on Microsoft Excel some sort of
at all? Because you know what? You can make numbers tell whatever story you want them to. I do that all day long. So my point being, though, is like, yes, exactly. If you're taking Foles in his first 3 years versus Minshew in his first year to 3 years, I agree. Minshew's probably a better quarterback early on.
Well, Foles did have that 1 year when he first came into the league where he was
like 1 year.
Blew up, yeah.
I'm talking about back to experience. That's the point I'm making. Why would you not want your best chance to make the playoffs this year?
What do you think about the argument that Doug's making that Minshew is actually more consistent than Foles?
He was the first 2 or 3 games, and you're going Foles back to what, the playoffs? No. You're taking Foles' like 10, 11-year career and averaging it out. That's not fair. Take Foles' last 3 years and average those out and see how it stacks up. I bet it's a lot different picture.
Maybe. Hopefully not. If he's the future, we don't want that to be the case. DeStorm, and he's at _Storm59, says, I think Foles, but my petty side says Minshew just to get Rookie of the Year. I mean, we're all petty.
I mean, I bet Con would probably like that. It'd be like, maybe Con will start him just so you get more publicity and like
if you
sell a few more tickets and jerseys.
This is the second person in a row that's talked about Minshew being Rookie of the Year.
Dude, he's won like 6 straight Rookie of the Weeks, man. I mean, I get it.
I mean, Josh Jacobs is the running back for Oakland's looking like he's going to be the favorite right now. But if you have a guy that's in the running and he's a quarterback in a year where Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins were all drafted, how do you bench that guy?
Because it's easier to win Rookie of the Year at quarterback than is any other position. Because it's so hard. That doesn't make you the playoffs, man. I don't care about Rookie of the Year. What does that do for us?
If you have a Rookie of the Year quarterback and you don't make the playoffs, it's not because of the quarterback play is what I'm saying.
I disagree.
That'd be a tough argument to make. That
it would be.
A Rookie of the Year.
I would say it's probably like 60-40, could go either way. I mean, I don't think that's not the point, though. I mean, yeah, you can put up gaudy stats for the rest of the year and us lose every game and make Rookie of the Year. That's a statistical accomplishment.
But he's not losing every game. He's winning
games.
He's won 4 of the 10.
Okay, we could go 7-9 and him put up gaudy stats and win Rookie of the Year and we miss the playoffs. Or Foles could step in with experience and we go 9-7 and have a shot at the playoffs. I mean, what would you prefer?
I think if a guy's putting up gaudy numbers as a rookie, then I think his ceiling is higher than Foles, is it not?
So you don't give the guy who...
If a guy's going 7-9 his rookie year, then his ceiling is like elite NFL quarterback.
I agree, man, but...
So why not get him to the elite status earlier in his career and then bench him?
If Foles hadn't... If Foles had like 3 games, 1 and 2, and whatever, on board, ship Foles off, let Minshew run it out, and he's our guy going forward. Foles hasn't got a shot, dude. He deserves a shot. All I'm saying.
We haven't even talked about the fact that all throughout Foles' career here in Jacksonville, as long as Minshew's there, the second he throws a bad throw, the crowd, the murmurs, Twitter, Reddit is all going to be like, Minshew should be starting. That's not fair to him either.
It isn't.
So either way, there's something going to be unfair.
But what if that doesn't happen? What if he comes in and doesn't have a bad throw?
Yeah, what if?
What if he comes in and runs the table?
I know.
So you don't think he deserves a shot at that? Minshew's had his shot.
Well,
He went 500. I think Foles deserves his shot.
Samuel Dodona agrees with you, and he's at Sam Dad Ona.
I like it.
Says
Only because you agree with me.
Says we need to see what Foles offers. We know what we have in the stash. If we want to make a quarterback change in the offseason, we need to see what Foles can achieve first.
Dude, 1,000%. How can you leave Foles on the bench with all that he's done in the past couple of years and what you brought him in for? I don't care about the money. The money is ancillary. That's like secondary. It's irrelevant. It's about the fact that the dude's been a stud the past couple of years coming in relief and winning a Super Bowl. You have to give him a legitimate chance to show what he can do.
Yeah.
You have to.
I guess there's no harm in seeing what he can do when the season's probably over. So might as well give him a shot. But
Debbie Downer, man.
Look,
my Lord.
This was the game, man. I know everyone talked about it.
I agree.
Everyone talks about how, every game's must win for the Jags, but this was the must win game for the Jags.
Hey, but Jacoby Brissett kind of hurt. Right?
I don't think we made the playoffs.
No?
No. I think we're a good team. We have a good young nucleus. I love Josh Allen. I love everything about this team. I love Gardner Minshew. I can't wait till he's leading our team in the future. But this year's just not the year. And that's okay.
How about
that's
this then? Because we had our preseason predictions, and yours was like
it always is.
16-0.
Yeah, it always is.
And I was 8-8, so I was obviously more in tune.
Yeah.
But at this point, bye week, what do you think we finish the season at?
5-11.
5-11?
If we're going off 2008.
5-11?
No.
Like, honestly, what do you think we do?
7-9.
I still think we're 8-8.
7-9.
Okay.
If we're lucky.
Right.
Who knows? I mean, Foles is the wild card in this. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, Foles is obviously garbage because he should never play football again.
According to me and all
he should retire like he was going to do like 3 years ago.
I'm just saying, if Minshew's going to be the future, let's expedite this process. I understand you're paying Foles a lot of money.
But, dude, it's nothing to do with the money. There's nothing that says...
It is, man. We're paying him like $90 million over the next 2 years.
I'm not saying about the decision. There's nothing that says that putting Minshew on the bench for a few games is going to ruin the fact that he's our future. Nothing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But it's that question, man. I'm glad I'm not Marone.
I mean, 70% of the Twitter did say Foles starts week 11. I'm in the minority. You're in the majority. We'll see what happens with that. Anything else you want to add about Minshew Foles?
I think that what's going to make like the transition and what's going to get us to the playoffs is if Minshew can talk Foles into wearing a American flag bandana every day.
Yeah, I mean that would be awesome.
That's all it's going to take.
Maybe Foles grows out a mustache.
You know, they might be able to work that out, but bandana is key.
I mean, what's his name? Baker's wearing one.
Foles might not be able to even grow a mustache.
Everyone's wearing a mustache nowadays.
Yeah, I agree.
Baker Mayfield, Mariota was wearing one. Who's the Titans coach? The old Mike Vrabel. Everyone's got
even more reason to wear the bandana because that's like not played out yet.
All right, well, make sure you follow us on Twitter. We're at Another Jags Pod, Facebook, Instagram, Another Jags Podcast. Thank you guys for listening to our podcast and our video cast. If you haven't seen us yet, make sure to go on YouTube and search us up. You can check us out in all of our glory that me and Joey have. Thanks so much for listening. You can catch Joey again next week. We'll be back, as always, dissecting the film. Even though it's an off week, I think you'll still be here, right?
Oh, yeah,
absolutely. Of course we will.
Of course, because that's going to be like the lead up to, again,
that's
Foles, Minshew.
We'll probably have more information by then.
I think Sunday is the call, I believe.
We'll see. All right, well, thank you guys for listening. And as always, go Jags.